Okay, so this video I'm going to talk about using some of the I guess the color scanners are out there. These are kind of these are for designer professionals, but not necessarily the really super high end color scanners. But these are more or less commercial scanners. Hobbyists use them. I know people use these for design and trying to match colors and trying to get color information about an area or various objects. So I've explored a couple of these while I've been doing research for this app. The two commercial level ones that I found are pretty good for this is the Colormuse by Variable, and there's Nix, the Nix color scanner by Nix. These are pretty good. This is about 60 bucks. It's about 100 bucks for the mini version. You don't necessarily need the pro version. And they do a pretty good job. The one I've been using a lot for my my work is the Spectro. It's also made by the same company, Variable. This is a $300 color scanner, but this is really a full spectrometer. If you're really obsessed about color and getting colors and so forth, this actually probably does the best job. But it's definitely not necessary if you're just trying to match paints. These are perfectly good. And I'm just going to go through how I go about using these and how you can get the color data out and get into the app and match some colors. So I'm going to start with the Colormuse. And for the Colormuse, I recommend the Variable Color app. There's a couple apps out there. I use the Variable Color app. It will ask to connect to the device. I'll turn it on, it'll pair the device. Sometimes it needs to calibrate, depends on how long it's been since you used it. And it's pretty easy. I'm gonna scan this color Nutmeg in the. I've been collecting a lot of these books from Home Depot to test paint colors and so forth. I'm gonna choose this brown color since we've been doing grays. Let's try something brown. Staying with the less saturated colors because those tend to be what you use for model colors. Those tend to be what you can replicate best. I'll talk about RGB colors and saturated colors in another video. Okay, so with that, I got my color scanner on there. I press scan, and I get a response back, and it gives me CIE Lab. Now, there's the other settings that we need. We need to know the observer and the illumination. If you click on this and go to settings, it shows the standard illuminant we're using. You can actually choose D50 or D65. So we know it's D50. The color format, if you click on this, it doesn't say, but I'm assuming it's the CIE 2%. You can use 2%, you can use 10%. You don't get big differences, but for color matching and so forth, we're going to stick with the 2% and D50. So here I'm going to write down the side what my matches were. So we got L is 53.7, A is 19.7, and B is 21.3. All right, so we're going to go into my app, and we're going to go to the Paint Decoder. And I'm going to add this. I'm going to add a color. We're going to call it Nutmeg. And we're going to make that 2 degrees. And we are D65, so, or was it D50? Yeah, we're D50. Sorry, D50. And we're going to put in the lab colors. We're going to do 53.7. We're going to do 19.7. And we're going to do 21.3. All right. And there's that brown. You know, you're going to get a different result with RGB than with this, but it gives you an idea of what the color's supposed to look like. So we're going to go to Find Mix. We're going to, again, we're going to stick with Tamiya, and we're going to go with the primary pigments, and we're going to find Nix, and we're going to see how well it does. Should take a couple seconds, and there we go. So it says 0.04 for delta E, so that's pretty good. Got a good mix of things. We got a little bit of flat brown. We got a little bit of hull red, but we're going to be mixing this with a lot of white and red and yellow, and it looks like we're going to have lots of interesting colors mixed in, so this is actually probably going to be a good example. I'm going to save this off real quick. Okay, now we're going to go back, we're going to try Nix. So let's put this aside, put the cap back on, and we're going to put the Nix out here, and I'm going to bring up the Nix digital app. So it wants to connect to it. It takes a little while, a little longer for the Nix to connect, but unlike the Colormuse, the Colormuse sometimes you have to do a calibration. The Nix pretty much calibrates itself, so it's you know, different technologies. All right, so we're going to scan that color with the Nix, and there we go. Now you notice we only get 2 digits of precision. There's the CIE lab, and we'll write down these numbers. We got 52, 21, and 24. And we don't get the 3rd digit of precision with the Nix app. This is usually meant for paint color matching. They give you these numbers and so forth, but I've even looked through the app. You can't tell whether what observer it's using or what's illumina it's using. So we're going to go back to the color decoder. We're going to add another color. We're going to call this Nutmeg Nix, and we're going to change this color. We're going to say we're going to set it to the same. We're going to set 2 degree. We're going to set it to D50. I don't know if that's right, but it's what I've been using, and I still get pretty good matches. So we're doing 52, 21, and 24. And there's that brown. And we already have the Tamiya, and we already have the primary pigment. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick find mixes, and we're going to see how well we do. And it takes a couple seconds sometimes. And there we go, 0.02. And again, we have like a drop of hull red, and we have a mix of a lot of other colors. So it's a different mix. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to mix these on camera. I'm going to mix these up, and we'll see what the difference is. Okay, so this is our result for the nutmeg mix for the scan colors. Okay, so here we have the Nix color, and I'll hold that up, and you can see we matched a brown, and if you look at the Colormuse color, on camera these look the same. This might be a little browner, this might be a little more orangish, but they're mostly the same. And like you can see on the camera, if I held these up on the camera, I mean, you can see a little bit of difference with the lighting and so forth. But let's see what they actually look like, because they are actually pretty light compared to the color. So what I do when I'm testing colors to make sure that I got a good match is I paint it on top of the I paint it right on top of the swatch that I'm trying to match, and you can see there there's a slight shade. This is the Colormuse. This is the Nix. The Nix was a little, like you said, a little lighter. This is a little browner. I think the Colormuse may have gotten a little better match on that color. But they're both. I don't want to lift this up too much because you'll get a lot of glare. But let me see if I can adjust the light a little bit. But for the most part, we've matched that color for all intents and purposes. You're never going to get a 100% match. Like you can paint over top of it and not see the paint. That kind of match is really impossible. Even for if you go to the Home Depot and get them to match your color. But this gets you in the ballpark. It's a tool that helps you get in the ballpark, and it does a pretty good job.